Pleased to say that a Sky News family member that we now have in the UK is Angela Levin, and Angela has got wonderful insights into the royal family, wrote a biography about Prince Harry, the same for the new Queen Consort, and I'm pleased to say she joins us now. Lovely to see you.
Hello, yes.
And you can read, by the way, her columns about what's happening right now at skynews.com.au. Welcome to the family.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be part of it. Thank you.
So, how are you processing these days? Is it a series of confusing emotions, but then also trying to work out what's happening behind the scenes?
No, a change of emotions. When I heard the news that she had passed away, I felt I'd been kicked in the stomach. I just could not believe it. And I just wanted to go home somehow. And then after that, very similar to when Princess Diana died, your moods changed. And the second day, I was crying at anything, really. You know, I saw a little girl who was talking to a reporter, and her tears were running down her face. And I thought it was so wonderful that a young girl wanted to continue with the monarchy, because, you know, it's been a bit jittery for the last few months. And that made me cry, and when anybody else cries, so please don't.
No, I'll hold it up for you.
I might too. And then you think how wonderful it is. You start remembering all the jokes you said, and when you saw her and the family together, and you feel sort of half elated, half very sad. It's a very curious emotion, but I think it's a wonderful one to feel, because it's warm.
I want to talk about Camilla, because fortuitously your book about her is going to be coming out very shortly.
Yes.
Her role as the Queen Consort, eventually she'll be called the Queen, won't she?
Well, I think she should be called the Queen straight away. I mean, you don't go around saying Prince Philip Consort. You don't, you know, nobody else has got that consort dangling on the end as if she's not quite there. She is there. You know, she's married the king now, and she should be just Queen. I can't understand why she's got that tag.
This sort of asterisk that people are trying to put around it because of...
Just in case.
Yeah, there's no way out. She's the Queen now, of course, she's married to the king. Tell us about what she's like as a person and how she's evolved since becoming a royal.
How long you got?
4 hours, let's go.
Okay. Well, they're very interesting things, really. She was brought up in a family that was very loving. But the one thing that her mother insisted that she did was sit with them at dinner with adults. She said she was bored stiff, but they said, it doesn't matter, I want you to learn how to have conversation with people, whatever you think of them. And if there's a minute's silence, you bring in anything. I don't care, it's about your pony or about your dog, anything. You must learn to have a conversation that make people feel rested. And that has stayed her in the most incredible good because of all the people she meets, plus her own instinct. When she goes on an engagement, she is always looking for the person who most needs comfort or help. This is in terms of reading. She is a great believer in helping people read. Comes if it's domestic violence. She doesn't mind talking to people who are very low. In fact, she wants to help. And this is quite extraordinary for a woman who was brought up never to want to have a career. She was brought up to get married, have children, live in the country and have a very nice time with horses and so on, and parties and reading. But actually she's grown through being with Prince Charles. She wasn't going to sit down and do nothing. She's grown and taken on the sort of charities that don't step on his feet, wouldn't be his area. She's not involved in climate change, she's involved in literacy. And she's got more busier and busier, and the more she does, the more she likes. So she's a great advantage, really. But in the way that she could help Prince Charles the most is that, one, she loves him and she listens to him. He said once, when they first met, she's the only woman I've ever been able to talk to. And I think that stayed throughout his life, that when there was a problem, when Diana died, he was up in Scotland and he went on the moors and he rang her because he needed her to help him when things were difficult. And I'm sure if he has any difficulty, they weren't having any relationship there. They were friends, but nothing beyond that. That she's there. She takes a step back when she's with him. It's not because she's shy. She's a very strong woman, but she feels it's deference and good behaviour.
Because it seems that, you know, the stages of his public life, and I've been saying this week that it feels like he's found this extra gear since becoming king, one that he may have been holding back for a little while. But you also see that it's part of getting older, but how much has Camilla's influence been on him just to be at ease with being publicly father, grandfather, because rather than just the future king, it seems that we've seen in the past 20 years lots of moments of, oh yeah, that's Charles with this crazy life, but here he is being a grandfather.
Yes, well, it's very interesting, really, because she has helped him to relax, and because he's comfortable and he feels secure with her support, he can now reach out to people, whereas before he was shy. She's a huge people person like he is, and that really means that he can relax and be the real person that he is. See, they've both got a great sense of humour, very similar, self-deprecating, and she can make him laugh. If he's very tense, she'll come up with some amazing quick joke and he won't be able to stop laughing. And I think that that relaxation is because he's happy and he's content, and he knew that in the end Her Majesty did say the first day of her platinum year that she wanted Camilla to be a queen consort, not the princess consort. So no one's going to fight that. And so what he wanted so much in his life for decades, he's got. And of course as well, if you have been with somebody for 35 years, they rub off on you, you rub off on them, and you can't you can be very different from how you were before that. But she's brought out the best in him.
So I want people to be able to go and find what you're writing and saying at skynews.com.au. What sorts of, you've got one column up and another one coming soon.
Yes.
What sorts of things are you going to be writing for us?
A lot about Camilla and slightly less about Harry, but it's concentrated on them. I have very strong feelings about them both, particularly because I spent about 15 months with Prince Harry and I knew him very well, and I thought he was charismatic and charming and, like his mother, had wonderful instincts, but that's been torn to shreds.
It's a shame, isn't it, where, look, we all hope to some degree that he comes back to the family. If he does that in his current marriage or future, we'll all wait and see. But again, you see those little transitions about people and about public perceptions about people, that you can go from being sort of this, roguish bloke mucking around in Las Vegas and everyone thinking of him as someone that they know, to again, oh mate, we all go through that phase where we go in the wrong direction. But I think just like Charles, he's going to sort of come in and out of public consciousness, and hopefully for the better in the soon. You seem doubtful.
Well, I think there comes a limit, actually. What we need to know is actions, not words, and he needs to get rid of his memoirs, because that is supposed to be full of attacks on his royal family. And I think if he does this now, after the Queen has died, then he's down in the ditch.
Yeah. All right. Well, nice to talk to you.
Sorry to end on a low note.
No, we're being as honest as possible, and that's
Yes.
The show that we do in Australia. And Will and truly thank you for being part of it here. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you very much.
I do appreciate it.